So, quick few things I wanted to say because I just was watching this. I'm piggybacking off of this YouTube video that I just watched. He was speaking about how everywhere. Well, he was visiting like I guess a tire shop or something like that, and he's seeing how everybody was working together, helping each other. One man posed and asked the question that has been asked many times before: why black folks don't come together and work together like that. Then he said that they can go to I guess it might have been like a Daytona Beach gathering or something like that, and they'll like seemingly stick together because they from the same town. But back when they get back home, they no longer on the same accord. Like what I'm saying, it's like that never really happened. And I always say, and this is what I truly believe: it's a sin issue, not a skin issue. And I keep saying that and keep kind of stressing that. Systematically, it's been, some of it like manifests as a skin issue, but strategically and all that, regarding the kingdom of darkness, regarding the enemy, we don't want to be exposed. That is really a hate issue. It's the seven deadly sins operating that cause people to want to kill each other. It's the love of money being the root of all evil. It's things like that. So and people making money their god and stuff like that. But and they tried to trigger me or whatever, but I'm good. It just reminded me that I live in a neighborhood where things like that have gone down. And again, I might not like people, and I don't, but I have not, what I'm saying, I don't mistreat people. And then this person appeared in my dreams, and I always like, in a humorous type of way, like kind of in a sideways type of way, ask God, why is this person in my dreams? I don't like them. I don't care for them. I don't deal with them. Or if I did something to them, I more than likely apologize, this, that, and the third. It's like what's not settled? That's how I be feeling or whatever. But this person appeared in my dreams, and I did do in the past. I didn't do nothing directly. Well, I can't say that. I did do something that affected them directly, and other ways indirectly or whatever. And it was childhood or whatever. So I was childish. I was immature, yet thinking I was grown, this, that, and the third. And then when we got grown and older, and I could comprehend that, oh gosh, I actually affected or did something, I apologized. But in the meantime, and in between time, that person was taking indirect shots. They would never say nothing to me directly, but it was taking indirect shots and stuff like that. So, to me, it just wasn't real enough to say it to my face or what I'm saying, come at me and just let it be known, what I'm saying? And the enemy tried to trip me up a few times, well, at least once or twice with that, because there was a time when I thought the person was talking about me and sticking up their middle finger and stuff like that. And I asked her, I was like basically getting myself prepared to fight and all this because I felt offended by it. Granted, I shouldn't have been, because given what I had done regarding that person, I probably should have just been like, well, I'm gonna just take that, I'm gonna just eat that. But I felt the type of way. And I guess it had to do with, I didn't know then, but I guess I know now, it had to do with my own guilty conscience because I had did something to that person. So I guess I was already on the defense, like, oh, this person is trying to come at me because of, something from way in the past. And I thought that person should have just moved on, this, that, and third, whatever, because I wasn't there anymore. So part of it was my own, there was like if it was guilt, and I'm not going to deny that it wasn't, it was some place where I, I couldn't process it as guilt because I'm like, wait a minute. for when I was immature, I was a child, and yeah, I thought like a child. And so now I can say, I can honestly say people feel offended by things that I've said or done or whatever. And again, it's just in standing up for myself or speaking up for myself. It's not me, not really nothing, but it's not me doing anything to them. But they take it as that. And so anyway, I said all that to say, yeah, I just, yeah, we keep talking. Well, some people speak on the issue that black folks don't cooperate with one another, don't help each other out. Uh, I used to, I feel like that still, but I don't get too deeply wrapped up in that because again, it don't matter what skin you under. Yeah, I'm sure you got white folks that don't help one another out to a certain extent, but I did see in the case or whatever with well, that they're portraying with the women of the movement, how that one girl was like, we got to stick together. But then on another hand, you had the man who didn't purchase anything because he just was like, no, right, he didn't say it, but right is right, wrong is wrong, and I ain't gonna just because we the same skin color. So that's why I say it's just to me it's the enemy just being real subtle regardless of what race it is, or what skin color it is. But I don't know. Some people still gonna see it that way or whatever. But I do see, black. It seems like black people don't want to work together, and like I said, systematically, I do feel like been programmed to definitely appear like that in some type of way. Have us to where, yeah, you know, you got the same skin color as me. I don't want to see you doing better than me. This and the third. Ugh. I'm at the point where I don't want to see corrupt people and evil people just prospering, and again, I don't care what skin color you are. If you black and you being used by the system and you by the kingdom of darkness and you know what I'm saying, you helping tear down the kingdom of light, that's where I have a problem. But there was something else I wanted to speak on too. That was just interesting to me because you see that, I see that in my neighborhood, so-called neighborhood. They ain't offering to help one another. People got resources in their households. They not offering. I mean, and be having more than enough, but do not be offering to help one another. So that be the thing. But let me pull up my little my concern that I was going to speak about earlier, because yeah, maybe some wild stuff out here. Let's see. Let me go check it out. Okay, so this is what I was thinking of earlier. It was something else I was gonna say about so-called old girl. I felt like it was, but I can't even remember. Like, oh yeah, I was gonna in reference to what I was just talking about, how people don't want to see nobody with something else. Not only did you not want me to, something on the inside of you was determined not to it wasn't even about her seeing me with the man because I was already there with him before, so that shouldn't even been a concern. But it's like it became a competition in her mind. It became a competition. It's like, honey, I'm not competing with you. So that's another thing. Like in the black community, so-called black community, girls, females want to compete with each other for a certain dude and this and that. I'm like, I'm not competing with you because number one, I was here first. And, it's either because I'm here first and he choosing me back and this and the third, we gonna work it out, or I don't even, you know what I'm saying, I don't know you like that, and even if I did, it's not a competition. You're not, you know what I'm saying, you're not on my radar like that. And so I was saying that to say how it wasn't just enough for her to have him over there, and of course he's away from his sons and things like that. She had to press false charges, call my job, or either give him the number, call my job, and you know what I'm saying, aid too. And again, this if I really care, if I really didn't know God as my provider, I would have been highly, deeply offended about losing that job or whatever. But yeah, um, yeah. So basically, you want to take out of my kids' mouth, you want to take out of my household. You know what I'm saying? You laid up with the, or whatever y'all got going on with the dude who I've been over, you know what I'm saying? I've been with. Again, that's just like you want to sabotage and defeat and destroy me. And that's a problem. That's the enemy to me. That's the enemy manifested. And in the natural, and I mean, I've seen certain ones before, but that's a, you know, yet it seemed like another one or the same one in a different form, in a disguise or whatever. But and that she not the only one that I've experienced stuff like that. Like it just don't be enough. Like even the so-called supposed to be relatives of my boys that I always speak about, I oftentimes speak about regarding across the street. It wasn't enough for their so-called aunt to you know have a drug dealing boyfriend and be having they sell lemons, they do this, they pill push, they fake payroll, they do what I'm saying, all this stuff. And nobody, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't calling the cops on them, bothering them, or nothing like that. I was praying for peace in this neighborhood and that me and my kids was never victims of any stray bullets or just any type of crime that might have been connected to that. But that wasn't enough. It was, oh no, my so-called nephew would be over there, and it's like she doesn't want to be invited to what I got going on. Then she doesn't need to be, she don't need to be here. And it's like, I mean, y'all think that I care that much. I'm gonna be here until God call me home. But y'all really go through extreme measures for the wrong stuff, do stuff in vain for vain reasons and stuff like that. So that'd be the issue or whatever. But earlier I was thinking about how I haven't had the quote unquote traditional marriage experience. And I basically definitely have given up on ever having that type of experience. I ain't saying giving up on marriage and stuff like that, but experience that I thought like getting, and I was specific about getting a gold ring and stuff like that. Wedding ring, and then oh, my so-called mom was married at 27. I should be. My grandma even got married. She got married and divorced. My so-called dad done been married. Everybody, my so-called paternal grandma married, even if you married and divorced. But here I am, what I'm saying, the oldest of my siblings, and again, haven't had the traditional marriage experience. Now, again, have I had a marriage experience and stuff like that? I absolutely have. But like I said, it wasn't traditional and it wasn't really that pleasant. It was, some moments I had fun or I felt good, but it wasn't, what I dreamed of. Or I ain't even dreamt of it, but it just wasn't what I thought it would be. It wasn't ideal. Um, but yeah, wanting my gold ring and having supportive people who genuinely love me and, just really truly around to support and actually emphasis on be happy for me, not side eyeing and not really, coveting or just secretly jealous or whatever. And so I went on to say, my so called mom, she didn't even seem to want me to go on a quote unquote family getaway slash birthday celebration. This was one of my younger siblings. We was invited, me and my kids, by the man of her house. And of course she had went on and called CPS and stuff and reported stuff about my house, but we went out of town that weekend and I didn't know. She sat in there, just guilty, not saying nothing to me, but because she had already done did that. Like, and I couldn't understand. That was so uncomfortable. Like, why are you doing that? It's like, why was I invited? But he invited me, and maybe he didn't. I don't know what it was, but anyway. And so then I started feeling like, so why would she? And I thought of this because I heard a girl say, oh, my mom, she loves my ring, and she still looks at it, and this, that, and the third. Somebody mentioned, the bigger the ring, the more problems you have, or whatever. But somebody was mentioning, my mom, she still looks at my ring and she loves my ring. And that just came to my mind. Like, honey, I would, she if she didn't want to see me happy during that time period when we was invited to the birthday celebration, the getaway. And I'm glad that God allowed me to stay in a separate room because it would have been very, very uncomfortable. Because for one, you don't want to disrespect your mom or anything like that. But if we was in that tight space where it came to that I need to say what I need to say, then I'm gonna say it or whatever. But anyway, so then I was just thinking, so why would she ever want to see me thriving and in a happy marriage? And I didn't even know. I thought, maybe they wanted to see me in a happy, a good relationship and all this and whatever, whatever. And I think maybe, possibly before, years ago, they wanted to, but I don't know. I feel like too, once I linked up with the boys' dad, and again, she asked what little she would ask and want to know, started feeling a type of way. And I'm like, wait a minute. Even with me getting along with his first daughter's mom and stuff like that, and I was just like, but I seen you do this. And I thought it was healthy and I thought it was cool, you know what I'm saying? I seen her get along with my so called stepsister's mom. And I'm like, okay, maybe it was something that was hidden. I don't know. But anyway, so I thought that was the right stuff to do. But yeah, like I said, I didn't even know that she wouldn't want to see me in no relationship. And even with my daughter out of my household, I feel like she's satisfied with that. She always said that his mom did. Oh, she does so much for her for talking about me, and I'm like, no, she ain't doing nothing for me. She doing it for her own sake, for her so-called son. She trying to do his part, like she told me a long time ago, and that's the wrong idea. And me, I'm not the right one to sit down and talk to her about that because she's gonna continue to tell me that's on you and that's your relationship with your mom and that's or whoever, as if I mean, I guess in a sense I was comparing without knowing, without really paying, without knowing that I was. All I could speak about it, I guess, was how I related to my mom, my so-called mom, when I was younger. But I wasn't the one that was gonna be able to. She's not gonna hear it from me that your son is a mama's boy. He needs to be more independent, especially when he got basically a so-called family or whatever. Of course, he don't got to claim me these days, but he got a daughter. But she didn't want nobody to take her place or come before her, this, that, and the third. So, um, but yeah, I said, so now it's to the point where I don't even expect, of course, that traditional marriage where people will be around me supportive, supposed to be your mom, your dad, this, that, and the third, your dad giving you away, this, that, and the third. It was just shock, and I was saying it would shock the devil out of me, but I couldn't even spell it right, and that was a typo for a reason. Because baby, I don't claim or proclaim to have the devil in me or the enemy in me. Like sometimes I'll just be feeling like, he definitely be trying me, but to the point where he try to penetrate. But yeah, if it was to ever occur like that. But at this point, of course, I would feel like I would want to elope and all that, whatever, whatever. It's just be me and my boys, and of course my daughter. I would want it to be like that, but she wants to be up under her dad, his mom, this, that, and the third. And there's nothing wrong with really being a daddy's girl, but just as long as it's healthy, and you know what I'm saying. And if he was promoting that healthy relationship between me and my daughter, especially you being a so-called mama's boy. How much more do you think my female daughter needs her mom? But anyway, that's a whole different ball game. I'm not going down there. I'm getting ready to go back to play my Soda Crush game. I just want to speak on those few things because I thought that was interesting what he was talking about. How black folks don't come together. And there was a point in time where I did. I wanted to come together with certain black folks, especially my children's fathers. And they really just teamed up on me and played foul and, came against me. And that's why I say, it would be more of a sexist thing than a racist thing if I had to choose. But I know that it's a sin, and it's a sin issue more than a skin issue, and even more than a sexist issue. But sometimes it really feels like it's a sexist thing. It really feels like men are against women. But I know the enemy can make it look like and appear like all types of stuff, and won't never get to the root that, oh, it's a sin issue. It's something that God doesn't approve of. That's why, you can't get it together. You can't get it right. And that's why so-called cycles repeat, vicious cycles, and so-called history repeats itself. And but it just be seeming like I'm one of the only ones, one of the few that even care that it keeps going like that. But I let that rest in the hands of God, and in His, according to His will, let it be done. Thy kingdom come, Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Because I don't know what to do, and that's, to me, I just feel like that's. It's not that it's above me, but it feels like a a battle or whatever that I can't fight or win. Definitely, alone. But anywho, that's that. It was very interesting. I'm finna finish watching it because I turned it off because I was so doggone eager to um, get on here and speak about it. Thought it was significant. But even with him explaining it, I don't fully agree with everything because, again, I feel like that's something that the enemy makes it appear to be. But that's not really what it is completely and totally. But, other people may try to convince otherwise. And I'm going to just leave it there.